Hello. Welcome back to my channel, my amazing subscribers. Thank you so much for your love and support. If you are new here, hello there. Welcome to this amazing channel. My name is Rita Siao. I am an educator, a public speaker, and the founder of Feminine Star Africa, a non-profit organization that is working tirelessly to empower women and girls. Today, I will be continuing the series I've started on relationship. In my previous video, I talked about my teenage relationship experience where my heart was broken and virginity was broken as well. In today's video, I'll be sharing about my experience of relationship during my adult life. So sit back and enjoy. I mentioned in my previous video the various stages that I went through. The first stage, which was excitement stage, where I was so in love, just excited and happy about the fact that a guy loves me. Just to get to the point where I'm like, what's going on? My heart is broken, virginity is broken. That precious thing was taken away from me. Feeling that experience of broken heart, I was a little bit cautious about the next thing. I was in Accra, worked about 8 months, then I returned to the Volta region where I lived, and then I started working. I got a job to do voluntary work with this non-profit organization that receives volunteers from abroad, and through one of such encounters, I met this young, handsome guy, and he was amazing. We started a beautiful relationship. I can tell it was a love at first sight for me. No, it wasn't. It was just that continuous conversation that we used to have, and maybe he appreciating my intelligence, the way I communicate, and other things about me that I'm sure he liked, and he wanted to know me more. So I'm not in his mind, so I can tell for him, but these are my assumptions. So we kept getting closer and closer during his stay. I think he was there to stay for about a month and something. So it was just nice. It was a beautiful love story that blossomed. It started beautifully. Then the time came, he had to leave. But before he left, we had this plan that he would go back to his country, continue his studies, and then he'll come back and, we'll be together. That was the plan. So when he left, for a couple of months, we've been exchanging letters, emails, and stuff here and there, communicating. I've talked with his family. So I thought it was going nice and lovely. One day, the unimaginable happened. He sent me this message and said, "I'm sorry, the distance is too much for me. I don't want to stay in this relationship again. I don't want to cheat on you, and I don't want you to cheat on me. So let's bring it to an end." I was like, oh, heartbroken again, torn apart, and I just didn't know what to do. I wrote him some very harsh letters like that he has taken advantage of me and stuff like that. I mean, I wrote him a lot of things, just pouring out my heart. Like, I was just mad, and I just wanted to pour out all my pain. And I did through those emails, and but at the end of it all, I had to accept that, hey, this is it. It's ended. There is nothing I can do about it. What I have learned from this, which I want to share with you, is this. If a man is honest with you, don't think he's joking. Take it seriously and run with it. I'm very serious. When the relationship came to an end, I realized that he was honest. Not every guy would be that honest with me to tell me, hey, looking at how far things are, even though we've made plans that I'll come back and stuff like this, I don't think I can do this, and I just don't want to go on with this, so just move on with your life. Not every guy will do that. Some will hold on, still be communicating with you, having, and asking for some, eliciting some terrible things from you just because that relationship has already been established, and so he can be having his fun there whilst holding you down. So when a man tells you he's done, just walk away. Take it that battle is lost, and you've lost, and that's the end. Don't want to try to make it work. No, don't, because it's just done, and that's it, my sister. But if you decide to still hold on, you would end up hurting yourself. All right, so that relationship ended there, and my heart was broken, but definitely I did learn a few things. I've learned that, one, a man must respect me and treat me with dignity. I learned that from this guy because he loved me. He treated me with respect. When I said no, it's no. When I say yes, then he is yes. He respected the boundaries I've set. He respected everything that, He respected me as a young lady then. So it made me feel in love with him. That is what I want you to pick up from this conversation today. Don't just accept a man because you feel he's handsome, he's good looking, he's this, he's that. Number one thing you should look for is, does he respect me? Does he take me for who I am? Does he respect my tradition and my culture? He has to. If he doesn't, I don't think it's worth settling for. I don't think so. When there is no respect there, I am not sticking around to be treated like trash. I don't deserve that. I deserve better than that. So that is what I learned from that broken relationship as well. Even though it ended sour, it was a beautiful thing. Why did I not just stop and just say I'm done looking for a relationship? There were several things that were happening. I was having pressure from my mom. She's like, let me just say this. Sometimes our parents are scared that, oh, my girl is going to get pregnant out of wedlock, so she should rather be married and then just, so when she gets pregnant and have a baby, at least she's married. That was the sort of mother I had. She had this fear that she know I'm not a bad girl, but she wanted me to find marriage. She doesn't care how old I was. She was putting that pressure on me, that pressure of, hey, when the man comes and you like him and he wants to marry you, allow him. That's the pressure from her. Not like you must marry. No, not that kind of pressure. If you know you love this young man, you appreciate him, and you love everything about him, and he loves you too, and he wants to marry you, allow him to marry you. These are the things she used to say. So that was one of the pressures coming from her. Another reason why I didn't give up on relationship at that time, even though I went through so much, was the fact that I knew, deep in my heart, I knew there was somebody out there for me. More importantly, I wanted to have somebody in my life for companionship and more. Yeah. One day I went with a friend to her house or so. Then from her house, we were going back to campus, and then we met this group of young men seated somewhere working. I didn't even know it was their office, so they called us. We just exchanged pleasantries, and then one of them asked for my number. I'm like, okay, this particular guy has been messaging me, we've been talking. Then one day he was like, hey, I'll be passing by your school and I'll see you. He came, he was in this vehicle, we just talked briefly, and then he left. Along the way, he started showing interest in me. He said he liked me, he wanted to be in a relationship with me. And then I told him, well, I don't want to do sex before marriage. I want to get married first before doing sex, because I knew what happened in my previous relationships. But guess what? That never happened. Whole thing started from first year. We've been talking. He'll come to visit on campus. I would meet him somewhere. We'd just meet as friends, talk, have fun, and then this continued like that. I told him, let's get to know each other better, and then let's see what could come out of that. And time was passing. First year passed, second year passed. He was okay with it. He was good. He was happy. He never pushed me about sex. Third year came, and we were supposed to do this thing called out program. Out program was amazing. Meaning you have to be on your own, take care of yourself. But I already had a place with my younger siblings there, so I didn't have to rent. It was just fun. So leave the house, go to the school, teach, and come back home. So it was just like some sort of national service sort of, or internship. It was amazing. So during that time, because I was no more on campus, now I had ample time at my disposal to do anything. So my advice for parents, please, even when your daughters are growing and they get to some point, please, you have every right to be checking on them, to be asking them questions. What's happening in your life? What's going on? Who are you seeing? My mom was the best when it comes to this, because every point of the way I talk with my mom knew my first boyfriend, she knew my second boyfriend, she knew this guy too. At this out program, I was having this kind of courage and this kind of faith in the guy that everything is going to be good. He's a nice guy. Finally, he invited me to his house. I will go there, help, do some cleaning, cook for him, and it was all going well. Then finally, one day, I went to visit him. He wanted me to sleep over. And in the night, I didn't want to give in, but sex happened. I was even crying because I didn't really want to do it. Not because he raped me, he didn't. But I didn't want to do it, but it just happened. And afterwards, I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have done this. Why was I feeling that regret? I felt like I had contaminated myself, and I felt so terribly bad. okay, because I wanted to just wait and get married. In my mind, we are dating. I'm almost out of school. We will soon be married, so why not just wait? That was what I was thinking, but that happened. Unfortunately, after these 3 years, okay, something terribly bad happened. It happened that this guy has actually been married since day one that I met him. I never knew. How did this happen? His colleagues, even his boss, everybody stood strong and said, no, he's not married. If he's married, we'll tell you. What I want you to know is this. Men will do anything to cover up for each other. So long as they're looking for that thing, sex, they would lie, say anything, just to get you. So be extremely careful. I dated this guy for 3 years. I never knew he was married. He lived uniquely as a bachelor. Nothing about him proved that this guy was married. All his friends, even including his boss, said he wasn't married. I'm the curious type that would ask questions, would come to you, not in front of him, but call the person or meet up and say, hey, how is this? Hey, are you sure he's not married? Because I don't want to date married men. Are you sure? They all lied to me. They said he wasn't married. How did I get to know this guy was married? Weekends he will go to a different community because of the nature of his job. He travels in between 2 cities. And when you ask, where are you going? Every time he gives excuses of his traveling. It is that I'm going on this project, I'm going on that project, and I'll be back today or tomorrow or at this date. How did I get to know that he was married? I think God just wanted me to catch him. He has traveled and didn't call me that he had arrived. So I called his phone just to know how is he doing. I was worried about him. I called his phone. A woman picked up, sounded sleepy, and I was like, hello, good evening. Can I speak to Mr. So-and-so? She was like, oh, he's sleeping. He came back very tired and the kids were disturbing him, so he's sleeping. And then I asked, please, are you Mrs. So-and-so? She says, yes. Smartly, I just said, okay, thank you so much. When he wakes up, tell him his colleague, Rita, called. That was it. I've caught him. He has lied to me for 3 solid years. That was the worst thing you could ever do to somebody. So to my young men watching this, look, don't take advantage of women. Don't make yourself a player. Please, it's not worth it. For what? What are you going to gain from that? You're cheating on your own family, disrespecting and disregarding your own wife. You know, you're married, for Christ's sake. So please, don't make yourself a player. There is nothing to gain in that. There is nothing. So that relationship also ended on the rocks. But I've learned my lessons, which I want to share with you. The lessons I've picked from there is this. When you meet a man, even when he promises he's not married, and he gives you people to talk to, don't just speak to those people. Go further. Don't just speak to those people. Talk to other people who are not within the circle which you know. Okay? The next thing is this. As you are in the relationship, there might be red flags here and there, but don't try to ignore these red flags, because those red flags could lead you to the truth. Okay? When he came back and I was talking to him, I confronted him. He wanted to lie, and I'm like, really? Do you want me to call this woman and remind her in front of you that I called her? So I blasted him. It ended there. And then I went back and blasted the whole team, his boss included, all his colleagues included. I am that strong. When you hurt me, I won't let you go scot-free. I'm not going to pay you back. I want to put you where you belong, just to make you know that I know you've messed with me, but you can't do that to other people. So my beautiful ladies, my young gentlemen watching this, life is all about the choices we make. Relationship is a beautiful thing. Marriage is a beautiful thing. But the journey to getting there is tough. It's not easy. Don't think it is easy. It is not easy. And when you find true love, don't ever take it for granted, because it is so difficult for some people to come by. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching today's video. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please give this video a thumbs up and also click the subscribe button if you are new here and have not yet subscribed. Thank you so much. I'll be sharing more. This is the second of my series on relationship. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Love you.